So today we're meeting with a group of teachers who have read Mr. Ted Dintersmith's book, What Schools Could Be. He very graciously donated these books to us as part of our partnership with the Virginia Learners Network. I'm excited to give teachers an opportunity to have a platform for discussions about innovative learning practices that are already happening here in Fluvanna and how we can grow these opportunities and experiences to other classrooms and teachers in our division. I also hope that we have some time to talk about action plans and opportunities, not just for this year, but future years to come. What we value here in Fluvanna in terms of educational opportunities for our students, and really how we define learning and how that supports a student in life after high school. We wanted to kind of share where our journey's been in terms of how the book study got started, and then second half we were going to kind of have a little bit of discussion about the book, and then a little bit of planning of where we'd like to see this go in Fluvanna County, and hopefully you'll decide after today that you'd like to stay a part of it and continue this work with us.
We worked on this project. He worked phenomenal on this project. And he had made, what was it, a planet or the moon or something? Planet that was hanging out, it was Earth. That's right, because it was like about trash and so forth. And he and I worked together on how to engineer it so that it would hang properly. And it was a really good bonding thing. And he was so engaged and so proud of his project. It was amazing.
But he could also speak to what he was working on.
Yeah. We're not looking at what kids need to know in the real world, just what makes a multiple choice question.
We ask them to try, just write about anything you want, but try to use the correct form so many times, and they're not willing to try. And I feel like that, have we projected that on them, or are they afraid to try because they're so afraid they're going to get it wrong, even though we tell them this isn't going to be graded? We just want you to try. Like, it's okay to make a mistake. We can talk about why you made a mistake, but it's a barrier right now. Our kids just aren't even willing to try.
It's very interesting to listen to their perspective of what was the best part of school, and they love their CTE classes, those hands-on classes, that kind of stuff. That's the ones that they really felt that they really learned the most from. So it's just an interesting perspective from their point of view that oftentimes I don't think we really think about, especially in my little kid world, which I'll call my primary world. You just kind of just roll with them, So it's just, and it's kind of all part of this, of just kind of getting them to be more involved in their education and more them studying what they want to do. I mean, even from our book, we learned, in the very beginning, it talked about that kindergarten teacher who just said, yeah, forget this. I'm going to let these kids do what they want to do. And, really learned in that way. So it's just.
And there were more than 40 divisions there, and people came to tears over our kids.
Yeah,
they were so impressed with what we do in Fluvanna and our sense of community. It was just overwhelming, the responses that they got and how seriously they took this. It was amazing. And they were not prepared for this. This was totally on the fly, and their answers were really good. They said, like the relationship with the English teacher and the math teacher is very different than the relationship with the CTE. And we need to make our language arts and math have that excitement. And that's kind of what they were telling all the divisions there. We've got to do this stuff, not just in the CTE classes.
Your Socratic inquiry.
Yes.
Last night my daughter was talking in her AP bio. They're having something like that now. And she was so excited because she wanted to be one of the speakers, and the teacher has to select the speakers, and she came home and she's talking about this. And then she looks at me and goes, Dad, I wish my other classes were like this. I want to debate. I want to argue. I want to look at things and then go back and kind of read up on it.
And I just love to do PBAs, and I think if teachers really, tried it, they would really see how much better it is and how much more authentic the learning is and how much more engaged the children are. Because they love it, and a lot of times they don't even realize that it's an assessment. They don't.
Right. If you don't say it's a test, then they just think it's a fun activity.
And a lot of times, it can be like we think of assessments as a summative or formal assessment. It could be an informal, and that it has a tremendous value and across the content areas.
Kids need to be doing history. They need to be engrossed in things that they're interested in, and it shouldn't just be spoon-feeding them a bunch of facts. So almost, you can see, I've just this poor book, I've just like highlighted the heck out of it because I kept in the margins writing yes.
So one thing that I'd like to start this year is a monthly kind of newsletter. I don't know if we were going to call it Fluco's on Fire or something, but I would like to highlight things that have nothing to do with testing and test scores at the division level and start really putting that out there to our other teachers and our family and community. So that's where I'm going to kind of need people in the schools' help to invite me in, tell me when something's happening that you'd like to have highlighted, if you'd like to be on our newsletter for that month. I think that's where we can start with changes. You know, if you look at any big business model, how do they, that are successful, how do they get there? It's not by focusing on things that they're doing wrong. They look at what things are going really well and then they do more of them. So I feel like if we can, you know, look at, because I know really good things do happen here in Fluvanna in your classrooms, if we can kind of highlight those things and then do more of them and then get other folks to do more of them, I think that's where we're going to start to see positive change.